YouTube, this is Chris with Kerbal Space Program, Interstellar Mod, Career Mode, launching a Space Science Lab to Minmus. And I plan to do some science there. I don't know how this works, how it integrates the science lab into the science points. Kind of a test. I figured I'd put it at Minmus. It's easy to reach, and out of the three celestial bodies in Kerbin's SOI, that probably has the highest science rating out of the three: the Moon, Minmus, and Kerbin itself. So this is just my. This has got the science lab itself. It's got a crew quarters, and I'm using just a Staputnik as the control module. This will come to bite me in the ass later. However, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So here is my orbit for this part, setting it up around Minmus. I'll round out the orbit. And what I thought, and I hadn't read the science mod in a while. From what I remembered, I used it a while ago, but I need a reactor, a nuclear reactor, or something in the ISM part list that'll supply power to the lab, because it uses megajoules, which is different from the battery electric. So I had to launch another mission with the reactor itself. So here is my reactor build. It's the reactor and an electric generator. And I also put the heat radiating panels on this as well to get the excess heat out so it doesn't shut down anything, which is another thing in this mod that solar panels and reactors and stuff like that generate waste heat, and waste heat is a quantifiable quantity that needs to be dissipated, and you could use radiators or these vanes that you see, that they're red ones. They open up like solar panels. Don't do it in atmosphere. You actually convect enough heat away while in atmo to keep the things from overheating, but as soon as you get out into space where there's just vacuum, there's nothing to convect the heat away from the components. So that's why you need those radiators. Now we're going to launch the reactor stage or reactor module. Pretty straightforward launch. So we'll get it up into space and link it up with the science module already out there. Moving right on through the launch. I could probably have cut some of this out, but it's nice to see how asparagus staging works. Even with the skipper engines, which don't really have that great of thrust to weight ratio, able to put in, this is actually a light payload. I've put up to 70 tons or close to that, I believe. Maybe a little bit less with this launch vehicle. But this is just the capsule, the fuel for the capsule, and the reactor stage, which is kind of heavy, but it's not, it's not crazy. It's not as heavy as the lab and the other stuff that I had already launched a little while ago. So this will meet up with the lab around Minmus. There we are, killed the transfer stage, and now we'll do the burn with the Poodle engines, or the Poodle engine. Through the magic of post-production and editing, we are at Minmus, making our rendezvous with the research science lab, and we will dock up. As you can see right there, I'm using MechJeb to dock, but I also had Navy Fish's docking guide installed, which I used when I'm not using MechJeb. It's definitely worth the download, so check that out, Navy Fish's docking tool. And here we are coming in for the final approach, and we will, as you can see, I kicked off the stay put Nick and linked up this power module with the capsule. This is where I said it was going to bite me in the ass. The science lab, even with the crew quarters, the habitation module is not. It's not a command module. So if there's nothing connected to this, um, the science lab and the power reactor module, you can't do anything. There's no command. So you have to have either a capsule or a probe attached to that link. Otherwise, it's just a dead stick. So it became a little bit of a problem when I put on the communication module, which had the antennas and it had a couple science parts on it. But I had run out of battery on the capsule that I was connecting to this, so I didn't think I was going to be able to make it back. But I guess with the new version, you can operate a capsule as long as there's people inside or Kerbals inside. You can still operate it. So I was able to link back up with it, but I thought it was going to just fly right into it because the battery went out when that happened. So here I am just putting on that communications module. I transferred fuel back to this capsule because this is actually going back to Kerbin. Just messing around with some things on the science lab. I just don't know how it actually transmits the science gained, and it's really small. It's what 0.3 per day or something. How do you transmit that back into the science system so that you can use it to unlock more nodes? Here's the capsule that I'm trying to link back up, and as you can see, I'm clicking on these things because I was going to close them because it looks like this capsule is just going to come right through them and crash into it, but I couldn't because there was no command module attached. However, it all worked out, and I was able to link the command capsule back up to the science station, and all was well. So that's basically it for right now for science. Until I figure out how this is working, I'm not going to do any more messing around with that until I know for sure. I'm not sure if I have to have some kind of communications array or if I have to use the computer cores or anything like that. But anyway, that is just the science section of the Minmus station. And if you like it, subscribe, comment, and request anything you want to see. Thanks.